Good morning, StarCraft fans. We are back with another group, and today it's going to be Group E, and it's got my two favorite Zergs in it. It is Queen, Jaedong, and then we have two Terrans trying to stop the Zerg reign this season. It's Ample and Sharp, and of course, joining me is my Zerg co-caster. It is Eonzerg. Good morning, dude.
Nyoken. Hello everyone. Today is going to be a nice day, man. When do you have Jaedong playing StarCraft in the stage, in the ASL, it's a good day.
For sure. Jaedong, by far and away, my favorite Zerg player. One of the few Golden Mouse winners, but Queen, someone that's kind of drawn me in over the past few years. This guy's an absolute monster in every single matchup, always a contender to not only get deep into the tournament, but also win the tournament. But we've got some strong Terran opponents too. Sharp looking to make a splash in the ASL, kind of bombs out generally in the round of 16. I always root for him to go far. And then Ample, who we see quite often, kind of similar fate generally with Sharp. I hope he also does well this season.
Yeah, for sure. Like Queen is the only third player that to win the ASL back to back. There is really there are not many Zergs that won the ASL apart from F4, I believe. Um, he won it two times, but it was like different years. Yeah, different. There was like a big period of time between the championships. And yeah, Sharp, of course, so it's been like a big name over the years, like a solid Terran player. Someone that actually reached the ASL final against Shuttle was that in the first ASL season, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, with everyone like actually back then, I remember like everyone was like, yeah, he's going to win this ASL. Like no one actually expected Shuttle to win the ASL. He actually lose that, and since then, I just like feel like he just like never really reach his full potential. To be honest, it's a guy that everyone always expected so much from him. Um, in some way, it's a bit similar to Jaedong. Like everyone was expecting so much from him, and we didn't really get from him that peak moment of like being a champion.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Jaedong moment. I think last season he had a good run, if I remember correctly. I remember him staying, like 2 hours after one of the groups or one of the rounds, just doing autographs and stuff. So he's clearly a fan favorite for the group. What do you think about the TVZ shots for either of these players? Because we've got TVZ on both sides initially. We've got Sharp versus Queen and Ample versus Jaedong. Do you think either of these Terran players can take down any of these Zergs in the opening rounds?
Well, when do you compare names, like on paper, you compare names. Well, it doesn't really make sense. Like you are probably going to go with the big favors, but at the same time, like Ample, especially Ample, like I have seen the guy playing this in the Pro Leagues, Africa Teen League, even in ASL. Like he can be really dangerous in a best of one when he actually prepares the build. He can be really dangerous. Like he can actually take a game. He can execute the build very well. The guy has like really good skills. I don't really see him as a good player for a best of, like a best of five, best of three. That can be a struggle for him. But in a best of one, with the right preparation, Ample can be really dangerous.
That is true, and I've mentioned it many times. Ample is very aggressive in Terran versus Zerg. In fact, he was the first person that I saw going for like 3-minute gas, sub 330 Academy, stimming across the map before Sunkens can get up and running. And he will do that. Like if he knows that the Sunkens will be 5 seconds late, he will legitimately stim down to 10 health and just try and end the game instantly. And it's a complete contrast to his Terran versus Terran, which is kind of more normal. He's definitely not as aggressive, but yeah, you definitely got to be very careful versus him. Now, I did want to ask you this. Yesterday I went and looked through some Pro League VODs because what I was curious about yesterday was all those 3-hatch builds we saw, and I was thinking, like, man, is 3-hatch making a comeback? Because generally when I watch ASL, the only person that 3-hatches is Shine, who is not in ASL this season. So I went and watched some Pro League VODs. Queen was even going 3-hatch. Do you think 3-hatch is coming back, and what is the reason for that, if you think that's the case?
Well, to be honest, I don't really think that is the case. It could be, like one specific times to surprise your opponent. I have seen honestly 3 hatcheries being more used when they take an extra expansion. In that case, I saw that play style a lot in Eclipse.
Yeah.
And in Sylphid as well last season I saw it. But I mean, it could be that retro is maybe a good map for it, or it could be that it actually is something that it occurred to me a few months ago, is that the Terran builds are so optimized, are getting so good against 2 hatcheries Muta, that you almost don't find too much damage. So, and on top of that, like the ARAX builds these days, and the micro is so dangerous that maybe servers are like, you know what, I better just like go mass eco, more drones, and uh, even if like, like get some damage, at least I can recover a bit eco wise.
Okay, that makes sense. It's just something that I noticed and I was surprised to see, because as a Terran player, I feel like I win the lottery when I get to play versus a 3-hatch. If I'm playing somebody that's clearly better than me, it's probably not going to matter. But at least when I get a 3-hatch play, I get to 5 racks, I get to go +1, I get to have stim, I get to have range, all those key upgrades that you need versus the mutas, and I have a ton of units, and also my SCV saturation is pretty good. So it's surprising to me to see the 3-hatch make a comeback in that sense. But I agree that when I have seen 3-hatch, like you mentioned, it's usually on Eclipse, it's usually on Sylphid, and those types of maps are hard to deal with, the 3-hatch play. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it on Retro, like you said. Even Tempest, with the high ground natural, that could be a good map for it, maybe.
Um, Tempest. Can
That's
you
the blue
remind
map.
me?
That's the blue
Oh,
map.
okay. Yeah, because of the high ground and all the many levels. Um, but at the same time, because of the positions, like 2 archeries, Muta can be so good
Yeah.
if you are like in close positions, but can be not so good when you are like, across the map. So it's tricky to me to think about Tempest, to be honest, being a 3 archeries Muta map. Honestly, it could be Nyoken. Like, like the thing is that you mentioned that you see a third player doing 300 minutes, that you have a lot of freedom to make many upgrades, right?
Yep.
But then, like it happened yesterday, Lai was doing that, and Effort was doing like 300 lockers. It's like a bit tricky, because if you're actually doing 5 barracks, then 300 lockers kind of like it actually does well against that, right?
Yeah, Lurker is kind of the counter, but like you even pointed out, a lot of times when you scan, your 5 racks isn't done, so you can just cancel the racks and just go into factory. So I still prefer 3-hatch, because I hate mutas, man. They're just so unkillable. Like when you play somebody like Zealot, for example, on the ladder, who has insane muta control, it feels like it's just impossible to win. But at least when I have all the upgrades, I think to myself, well, I'm still probably gonna lose, but at least I have a shot at maybe killing some of these mutalisks.
Yeah, but look at this. Look from this point of view. Let's say you are doing that build and you have everything optimized, right?
Yeah.
The supply timings, the CP count, everything. But then you need to start cancel buildings, building something else, going out from your comfort zone. You need to do different moves. Maybe you need to be more aggressive so you don't get like lurker contain.
Yeah.
All of that is aiding to your plan now. and you're actually not executing anymore what you practice for.
That is true. There's definitely small things like that can throw you off, and that can give the opposing player an advantage, something I hadn't considered. I'll be looking for that today if Queen or Jaedong goes for the lurker follow-up for 3 hatch, if we get it, of course. Our interviews are over, so we'll be getting into the games momentarily. Oh, and also I did want to point out yesterday, when I was watching some VODs, since we do have Apocalypse first, there was a game of Queen versus Light. Now, Light ended up going 14 Command Center, and I'm not too sure if we'll see that from either Ample or Sharp, but the Overlord got there to the natural before Queen had to put down a spawning pool, so he actually went 3 hatch before pool. So I'll also be looking for that if he gets a lucky scout off, and for some reason Ample or somebody ends up going for 14 CC.
And he did the 14cc like as a part of the wall or like in
No,
place?
it was not part of the wall, and that's also the surprising part, is because Apocalypse is not a full wall, and he still went 14 Command Center.
Interesting. That was, honestly, that's risky
Yeah,
to do a 14cc, but it's also like there are so many terras these days doing ARACs, and you almost don't see a pull first. I used to see that in the old times, but apparently because of like Terra is getting so good with these world mechanics and all of that, it maybe they are not so confident to do a 9 pull anymore.
that could be true. Yeah, often at pro level, I don't really see successful 9 pools that often. Definitely not speedling 9 pools. I think that's like a ladder only build. We're getting a look at the groups. As you can see, we have a lot of Zergs that have qualified so far. Not very many Protosses at all, just many. The only other Protoss is Best, who was just placed directly into the round of 16. We don't have any Protoss today, so that's a bit unfortunate. That means Group F, we are relying on Bisu and Stork to make it through so we can have a little bit better balance. But that's going to be a tough group for them because Rush, amazing. And then you have an amateur, Ivory, who I'm sure these players have no intel on. And that's always dangerous when you're facing somebody like that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to see that new player in action. To be honest, let's see if he has like a shot to make it. That is going to be an interesting group for sure. It's always cool to see this new blood, like you know, in the ASL and see what they can do because always like we are dreaming to have a new player that makes a magic run, and go very
Yeah.
far. That was something back in the days, right? Like in the Caspira, do you see these new surf players? Like, do you see the Jaedong, the one row? All these new players, like you were like always like excited to see like Flash when he come to a splash. Everyone like was cheesing his way to the high rounds, and everyone was like going crazy about it. So yeah, I'm really looking for that group as well. I think it's going to be an exciting one.
Yep, I definitely agree. And we're getting a look at Queen stats. That's pretty much as good as you can do in ASL. Almost 55 to 60% win rate across all matchups. Absolutely crazy. And in terms of ASL points, it says that he is number 1. So this guy is the man to beat. His Zerg versus Terran, it's his best matchup. And he's going to be going up versus Sharp, who I really like Sharp's Terran versus Terran. Immaculate, just absolutely perfect. Terran versus Protoss, also great. But Terran versus Zerg, I really do see Sharp struggling a lot of the times in TVZ. So I think this is going to be an extremely hard matchup for him.
Queen career in post Kespa has been really interesting because I remember
Oh,
back
Ample,
then
sorry.
when um, he was like coming back, right? Like everyone was so excited because he was like the everyone knew like he was like the biggest skill serve player right, in the scene now. I because like back then it was like only killer, but then Queen comes and he takes it. He was doing super well, but then it comes to these tournaments and he took a long time to deliver. But when he finally actually got it together, he made a Magic Round championship back to back, and it actually solidified his career and is now one of the greatest artists in the scene. So it's been like a really good journey for him. It was like a struggle in the beginning, but yeah, he for sure like he he actually I'm glad he actually made that splash because the guy to me it was always this kind of third player that is like the equivalent to Flash. Like it's a very standard player with the amazing mechanics and solid gameplay, and he just like plays always like very very solid.
Yeah, that's true. And for some players, they just never are able to translate their skills online or in practice into live games. So it is nice to see someone like Queen actually do that. And I misspoke a moment ago. It's actually Ample facing off. And we saw his stats. Actually, even one of the comments they had in the previous graphics was, this is a good group for Ample because there's no Protoss. His win rate's extremely low versus Protoss. So maybe he can take down Queen. We're getting into game one on Apocalypse. And in the top middle position, we do have Queen himself. And in the bottom left, we have Ample. And every time I watch Ample, he really does like to wall off. And with bottom left having that potential for not a complete wall, but a semi-wall, I do expect him to go for that. We'll see if he actually goes for that in just a moment, though.
Nyoken in a scene that like Terran is so good, is so imbalanced, like always win against Protoss, like the win rate, winning every ASL. Why do you think Ample is so bad at TVP?
I don't know, man, because once you get to a certain level, like, he obviously knows how to fight, he obviously knows the builds, but it's hard to know the subtle things that, for example, let's say Flash knows and just makes him unkillable in Terran versus Protoss, right? Or something that Light knows that makes him unkillable in Terran versus Protoss. There's just the minor details that is the difference between somebody that's a superstar and somebody that's kind of just, average, right? So I don't really have a good answer to that because I'm not a Terran versus Protoss specialist by any means at all. I struggle versus that a lot, but yeah, it is surprising that he did have only a 12% win rate versus Protoss. That's very, very low. And we do have the wall, as I was expecting. We are going to have the hatch for Queen. He did not get off that quick Overlord Scout, so most likely not going to be the 3 hatch before pool that I was talking about a moment ago.
Yeah, I want to clarify that was a sarcastic comment. StarCraft is extremely balanced, every race is balanced, the best player always wins. That is the reality.
Yeah.
It's a perfect game. We've been playing this game since 1998, and it's crazy to me that to this day the game is still extremely balanced. Like every matchup is about like 50% win rate, so it's really nice. By the way, Nyoken, this is like, I don't see the gas. Do you see the gas?
Oh yeah, for
Queen.
Yeah, I see it in his main. It just went down around the same around the pool timing.
Okay, that yellow is not really clear to me. So is then the classic 2-hash mute, I guess.
Yeah, this is going to be the somewhat low econ 2-hatch play. It's not going to be the 2.5 hatch. We do have Ample with his 1 Rax expand as expected. With it being a 2-hatch, okay. He's already thrown me off. I was going to say with it being a 2-hatch, I expected it to be a fast 2nd Rax, but he is going into gas. And these days, could be +1 weapon real quickly. Could be some type of Valkyrie build. I don't see that nearly as much these days, though, and there is the eBay, actually.
I remember Ample used to be like this guy that was always doing some crazy mech builds. And what do you think about mech on this map? Like a straight mech, not mech switch. Oh, never mind. He's engineering based, so we can actually forget the mech question.
Yeah, I think that mech is okay. I think Zerg players just in general have gotten so good versus mech. They know how to abuse it. They can pump out so many drones, or they can build queens faster because they know Terran doesn't really have a great timing before, like, 3 tanks moving out with their Goliaths. So I think just in general, mech is kind of faded off in that sense, but it is eBay opener, like you said. We're going to have fast +1. I think the Academy is even pretty darn fast too, so Ample's going to have his +1 timing, not exactly when mutas hit, but shortly after, but he will have stim in range around the time mutas come, so I really do like his build so far.
Man, Queen is so confident. He actually, like, he builds his first Starling at, like, at 4 minutes. So, like, he actually let Ample scout everything. Like, there is really, like, he has to be confident to allow Terran to do something like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I do like Queen's build. Also, he's got 6 Lings just to get a little map control. He also cleared out the SCV, but the SCV did spot the 3rd hatch, so at least Ample knows that this is not a 3rd hatch that's on location. These Lings, they're not going to do anything. We only have the first medic coming out right now. And we actually have Ample going into 3 racks follow-up. May even see a 4th racks. I see, yep, there it is. SCV goes down. So this is going to be a big Marine medic commitment. And we'll see if he can get any damage done with this. What he wants to do with this. Is it going to be to pressure? Is he just going to sit in his base? I can't imagine him just sitting in his base with the 4 racks, though. 5 racks?
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, he can even, like, go 5 barracks, to be honest. But the thing is, like, with 4 barracks, or you get insane production. With 5 barracks, you get in 5 Marines. Like, how long it takes to build a Marine? Like 25 seconds or something like that?
Not even 25 seconds, man. I think it's 15 seconds or around there. So it's extremely quick.
So yeah, it's like very, like, the production is going to be insane. But oh my god, Queen is already doing that for expansion.
Yeah,
I don't know, okay, I feel like with 5 barracks, that is going to be hard to defend.
It is going to be hard to defend, but at the same time, 5 racks is really hard to support when you are rushing your upgrades, when you're rushing your eBay, and you're facing a 2 racks or a 2 hatch where you got to build a lot of turrets. Like, if we go back just a second ago where we cut to the 5 racks, only 2 of them were blinking, even though he has 5 racks. So, yes, he's gonna be able to build a lot of units, but he cannot lose any SCVs. If he loses SCVs with this build, I think he's gonna be struggling to produce constantly.
Oh, Queen, man, intercepting Marines in that rally point, that is not good. You actually wanna have, like, many Marines to make this build work.
Yeah, and moving out this quickly is also hard to do because, think about it, Ample was on 1 barracks for a very long time. Like, he only has 7 Marines in his army and 2 medics. Zerg is not scared of that. They're just not. That's too few. So he really needs to get the rest of his Marines synced up together, and so far, Queen has done a really good job to not allow that to happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, Queen's not even, like, making that many mutas. Like, he's right now on 8 mutas. So that's I feel like that's pretty much the reason Ample army is still in the map. Like, imagine, like, more mutas and servings. Like, he will not even, like, need to deal with this.
Yeah, that is true. And the bio ball is slightly bigger than I thought. What's this, 11 Marines plus 3 medics? So that's a sizable amount of units. We do have the Hydra Den, and I think that was also the Queen's Nest coming down at the same time. Now, if Ample gets these 2 groups together, I agree that this is going to be really rough for Queen to hold that base at top right. This is a ton of bio.
Oh, man.
This is a...
Yeah, but you know what? Ample actually lose 1 medic. Queen was able to snipe 1 medic.
Yeah, but he's done a good job to actually have a decent medic count right now. He has 5. And look how many units he has. He's able to fend the mutas off with just 1 group and then also continue to push with a 2nd group. This is going to be really hard for Queen to stop. And even if he does stop it, Ample's still crushing his build. He's got a 740 or so factory. That's a pretty sweet timing for him. Drone transfer. So Queen's confident that he can hold it.
You know, Nyoken thing is, I don't see any sunken in the natural. If there is one, maybe there are 1 or 2 sunkens. And that tier group of Marines now... Oh my god, there is only 1 sunken. If that tier group of Marines now join this army, the mutas can deal with that.
Yeah, this... Oh man, and those are some heavily damaged mutas right there. Like a lot of them. Okay, now he picks off wow, he picked off 3 medics right there. Okay, so now that was the damage that Queen really needed to potentially hold this attack off. Only 1 sunken. Maybe enough with the mutas and lings because Queen did build a lot of them. But those mutas are, well, they're relatively healthy, but killing the medics was crucial here.
I mean, Nyoken does a lot of marines, even without medics. Oh my god, he forgot to use the entire group.
Yeah, he didn't use the entire group, and actually Eonzerg, Queen misclicked his lings and his main, and they went towards his main base instead of going to the corner. So they're not synced up with the mutas. Now Ample realizes, hey, I don't have my whole army here.
Is this going to be whole?
This is so close. I think just barely Queen holds it.
There is 1 lurker, but there is a new, huge group of bio coming, and I feel like that can actually kill that 1 lurker. There are not even that many mutants.
Yeah. Oh, and the lurker's out of position. The mutas were on move command. They get focused down. Lings all die. There's nothing here.
Nyoken, that guy is dead. No, there are no units.
There's nothing here. And back in Ample's main, he did not miss a beat on his build. Starports are done. Science facility done. Top right was critical that Queen holds versus this 5-Rex. So the unit flood from Terran is insane now. And now if you're Queen, what can you do? You're going to have to rely on Defilers, a miracle hold with them, and then also try and fend off a 3rd base with no map control? Impossible almost.
Sadly enough, the problem is there is no not enough mutas, not enough lurkers. Like Eonzerg is alone against 5 barracks. That is going to be nothing.
Oh my god, this was such a sick play from Ample, absolutely crushing it. The mutas did a good job with the initial reinforcements, but once it reaches 2-3 groups of Marine medic, you're seeing the power of 5-Racks now. It's just so incredibly hard to stop with just Mutaling. Queen, with the lings being sent to his main instead of the corner, was obviously a huge mistake, and it really bit him in the butt right there. And now he's going to try and scramble to get up a base at top left, but that is going to be so hard to defend, especially now that vessels are out on the field.
Yeah, sadly for Queen here, I don't really see any chance for him because, yesterday we have a situation like that Terran killed the tier base, but the action was in good shape with a lot of army, many Hydras, Lurkers, Defiler. But in Queen's case, there is 2 Defilers and no army.
Yeah, this is going to be so hard. I actually think the only way that Queen could get back into this game, if it doesn't flat out end here. Wow, he didn't irradiate the Lurker, so there's going to be a run by. Try and get past this. He has so much here, and that's only 1 lurker, that I think this will still end the game. There it is, GG. And that means Ample, he crushes him.
Oh my god. We already starting this group, and it's on fire. Honestly, Ample can be deadly in a best of 1 with good preparation, good big build execution. But I didn't see that coming. Queen even sniped many medics. Imagine Nyoken if he didn't snipe any medics. That would be a wrecking ball, to be honest.
Yeah, the medics were the only shot for Queen to hold it. He got the kills, and it still wasn't enough. And then think about it. You pointed out, Ample didn't even have 5 or 6 Marines in the army, and it still won. So that build was crazy. I was waiting for Queen to move in and kill some SCVs, because as a Terran, I know it's really hard to support 5-Racks versus 2-Hatch, but he never did. And if you don't hurt the Terran's SCV count, this build, it's just so ridiculously strong.
It can be so dangerous, this build, because do you remember Queen was actually sniping Marines in the rally point, from the distance of the barracks to the national? He was doing that, so he was slowing down the build as much as he could. But yeah, man, you produce so many Marines, so many forces, and the thing is even without the many medics, the Marine number is so high, and the sting can be so strong that you can trade as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this replay because he must have done something that I do not do with a 5 Rex and 2 hatch because I'm never ever able to support it. So very nice play from Ample. He takes down Queen, who's going to be now in the losers match, and Ample will be waiting in the winners match, and he's got a really good shot of making it out. We're going to be going into a break, and we'll be back in just a few moments. And we are back. And now we're going to be going into our second match, but we've, of course, got our Ask ASL part first. You got a question for the ASL players. You can make a post on Afrika's website, and maybe your question will get picked. And if it does get picked, you could win a thermos, aka a tumbler in Korean. And remember, also ASL is selling those sweet mouse pads. If you have interest in that, also check out their webpage. It's got all the champions photos on it. I think it looks pretty sick. I'm actually considering buying it, and I'm going to get it signed by Effort and make Eonzerg jealous about it.
Yeah, man, that would be insane, but you know, it's honestly it's a huge mousepad. I've never been a fan of these huge mousepads. Like, I keep it more classic, a little bit more smaller.
Yeah, it does look super big. I think it's about twice as big as my current EG mousepad, but definitely looks pretty sweet. I sent Eonzerg some pictures of my CJ Entis sweatshirt yesterday.
Yeah,
Memories,
that
man.
hoodie looks insane.
Yeah, when I took it out, I'm like, man, these colors are really popping, dude. It's too bad I can't wear it because it's signed by one of the GOATs, Effort. We're getting a look at Sharp's stats here. Terran versus Zerg. Actually, his win rate is freaking high, dude, versus Zerg. I was not expecting that, but maybe he's actually a killer in Terran versus Zerg. I'm not remembering that specifically, but clearly I'm wrong because he's done very well versus Zerg so far in ASL.
Um, yeah, for sure. Like, I honestly didn't expect the stats to be. Well, these are the interesting stats by Jaedong.
Yeah.
He's 7 wins and 13 losses against Ser.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, did they get the verse Terran win rate and Zerg rate switch, dude? Like, that's not the win rate that you're expecting to see for ZVZ because 15 years ago there was a meme JVZ because of how dominant he was Zerg versus Zerg. So for him to have 35% win rate, that is surprising.
Wow. I think wow. Honestly, I'm a bit shocked. We like for years we've been saying like JVC. Maybe it's not that the case anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, everybody's gotten a lot better. ZVZ's obviously a volatile matchup. You know, that could be the case. But back then, there was literally nobody better in Zerg versus Zerg. You could almost
Back then you could see any Jaedong game Nyoken, any Jaedong game. You will see the fear in Jaedong's opponents when they were about to play CBC. That's how scary it was.
Yeah, didn't matter the build order, whether he's at a deficit in build order, didn't matter at all. 100% almost he was going to win that matchup regardless. Our players are ready though. It's time for Sharp versus Jaedong, and again, it will be on Apocalypse. Okay, in the top middle are Red Terran. It is Sharp. And in the mid right, everybody knows this player. It is Mr. Jaedong. So Sharp, I think when I think of Sharp in Terran vs. Zerg, tends to be a bio player. I don't think I see him nearly as often playing mech, so if we do get into mid or late game, I think it's highly likely we're still going to see SK Terran. I don't expect to see a mech switch.
Yeah. You know, like Sharp actually was one of these guys like to play mech switch as well, but there was a moment in time that the meta just changed, and all of a sudden no one was really doing mech switch anymore. But you know, Nyoken, Sarah is already missing the scouting.
Yeah.
Like in the last game. That's a bit unfortunate for Jaedong, I guess, not getting that first scouting. Look at this guy, bro.
Yeah, we got a lot of foreign fans. Almost every single day we've had a cut to a foreign fan, whether they're from Germany, you know, Australia, or wherever. They're coming from all over the place. Even more foreign fans right there. Yeah, that guy knows some Korean too. Well done. Big Jaedong fan, apparently. We do have, again, the semi-wall at the entrance. Seems to be the go-to openers for these Terran players. We do have 12 hatch from Jaedong.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it's the classic 12 hash and pool as well. So we're probably going to see 2 hatcheries. Wait, there is a gas here. Okay, maybe we are going to see a 2.5.
Well, no gas just yet for either player. There was a graphic that said their most recent game was in Season 4. So basically, over 10 seasons, these players have not played each other. We've got, again, an interesting depot placement with the second depot.
Yeah. Terrans are doing that these days, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, there is a gap between the depot and the rack, so building the depot there does completely wall it off, but that is an interesting depot placement. I hadn't seen it until this ASL. This was the low econ 2 hatch play. I think this was like around a 205 gas. We've got the standard command center follow-up. I wonder if Sharp will pull off or pull out a fast eBay opener, but it looks like SCV's set up to build a second racks.
Yeah, with Jaedong, honestly, you never know. Like, you could be chilling like this, and all of a sudden he killed the CB, boom, 10 series in your face. He's that kind of player, to be honest. He's not afraid to commit. But look at Sharp moving these 3 Marines, and since he has like vision with SCB, he can be this aggressive.
Okay, if he catches this Overlord, that could trigger the Ling all-in that you're talking. Oh, no way he missed that. Okay, now he sees it, but I think the Overlord will get into a safe position in time now.
I think he has vision from that. No?
It's a little too quick. Oh, the Overlord was faster than I expected, so maybe he wouldn't have got it. But look at that. Lings were already being built anyways.
Yeah. I don't see extra links. Jaedong is making a tier hatchery already, so looks like it's just like preventive serlings right now. But like about Sharp opening is 2 barracks academy, right?
Yeah, 2 barracks academy. I don't think this is the ample style stim across the map academy timing, but it's still quite quick.
It's very fast, and you can, like, honestly, medics are about to start.
Yeah, they're going to be starting in about 5 seconds or so, so he'll be out on the map really quickly. SCV gets in and gets to scout everything. Again, another critical scout spots the hatch. Also is going to spot the Spire, so he's going to know that, hey, I have not been duped. It is just a normal Muta play. So really good scout there from Sharp.
Yeah, so far Sharp doing an extremely good job with the scouts. Because this is so important for Terran to get this information without the scouts. This is always like, it's a big win here.
Yeah, and he's moving out at a really good time too. This is always an awkward moment for Zerg because you're banking up larva. You want to build mutas, but if the Marines are coming and you can't stop it, then all of a sudden you're forced to build Lings. So I like this move out right now. There's the eBay for Sharp right on time at 5 minutes. We got 3rd racks coming in too. Only 1 sunken. This is a dangerous situation. Okay, he's got 12 Lings.
And I think Jaedong's in danger here with only 1 sunken.
Yeah, he could be. He doesn't know how many Lings there are, so he is going to play it cautiously and back off.
And now Jaedong has all these serlings. He's probably going to fight.
Oh, this can't work. Oh no. He loses almost every Ling there.
Yeah, it wasn't really a good trade. But at the same time, at least he didn't die. That's the good thing, I guess.
Yeah, that is the good thing, but the push accomplished what he wanted to do. The Muta count is extremely low right now. It's just at 3. As a Terran player, that bunker is amazing to me. Surrounded by 2 depots. No way that could really ever get busted. Love it. Turrets are... Okay, I was going to say they're slightly late, but they are not, especially since there's only 3 mutas. So good defense so far from Sharp. Crushing it in terms of build order right now, taking no damage at all. He's in a fantastic spot.
Yeah, I feel like the Natural is a bit exposed to mutas. Like, I feel like he could snipe some SCVs there. But looks like that is not the move for it. Oh my god, all of this is open.
Yeah, no turrets here. This is kind of the move that I was expecting Queen to make. Go in deep with the mutas. He's found the sweet spot in the back of the base where there's no turrets, but the turrets at the Natural in a good position. Can't really harass there. And what's Jaedong's follow-up going to be? He's just now sending a drone to take a 3rd base.
Oh, he ain't losing too many mutas. Right now he does at least 2 mutas.
Yeah, and that one's heavily damaged too. Look at the Firebat already in position, so this may be a denied base. And this may trigger Jaedong to just go all in if it gets denied.
Yeah, he for sure needs to deal with this Firebat, and he needs to set up this base as quick as possible because Sharp is like taking so fast right now. He's not even losing that many. Oh no.
Oh,
wow.
Lucky. That drone, he's like, dude, you Zerglings, you can't take out this one Firebat. I'll show you how it's done. Takes him down. We'll be able to get his hatch up and running. But this is a super delayed hatchery in comparison to Queen's last game.
Jaedong's making a lot of mutas on Nyoken. I ask myself if he actually is going to commit to mutas now.
Yeah, this is quite a lot. The thing that I noticed in Sharp's build is his factory's already done, so starports are already along the way. To give comparison, last game Ample's factory started around this time, and we're starting starports, so this is even more streamlined. This is really well done from Sharp. Even gets the Overlord there.
I didn't see any tech for Jaedong either. So he now is like kind of like forced to do damage with mutas because at the same time Sharp, look at the starports, they're ready.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jaedong, he's not able to get the SCVs before they complete the starport, so they're not going to be delayed at all. However, these starports are not in a great position. Like if the mutas hung around the top left, he could really force the Marines to fight and come in single file, but he doesn't abuse that position. But you were right, this is mass muta, dude. That is so many mutas, but Sharp has snuck out an army across the map.
Wait a minute, the main is exposed now because all the army is out.
Yeah, there's no turrets. Like, did Jaedong just find the one moment of opportunity and he's just abusing it right now? It really looks like he is, but he is going to lose his third base at bottom right. But Sharp's losing literally every Marine in his base.
Yeah, Jaedong has to know that the army is not in the main anymore.
Yeah.
He probably needs Sunkens to survive in case Sharp decides to do a counter-attack. But I think a micro mistake.
There's not enough Marines. Okay, Lings are trying to come in now. If there was even just 1 or 2 lurkers, I think Sharp's dead. There's just not any Marines anymore, dude. The army at bottom right, Sharp isn't sending it back either. So he's only able to defend with what comes out of these 4 barracks.
I don't know, Nyoken. Jaedong lose a lot of mutas as well.
Yeah.
Like, he actually need to win this game with that. Like, there is nothing else to do.
Yeah, and the fact that I still don't see any lurkers anymore is it does feel like Jaedong has fizzled out at this point. The turret setup, this small choke area, definitely favoring Sharp now, and now he's got a decent amount of bio. It looked like such a good counterattack from Jaedong, but is there enough anymore? Sharp's almost all the way back with his army.
Yeah. On top of that, Jaedong didn't do too much damage either. Like, yes, he killed turrets and killed few Marines, but like eco damage wise, Sharp is still very healthy, and now all these mutas are so low HP, I think Jaedong is dead.
Yeah, it seems like Jaedong's in a pickle now. Still more Lings. I'm still so sad that none of these larvae are being used for any lurkers at all. Now with vessels out on the field, Irradius is just going to crush through these mutas. Jaedong's trying to take a third base, but it's not a third base position that you really want to take, and he's just continuing to all in here. He knows that he's got to end the game. It's almost a helpless position if he tries to transition out of this.
You know, Nyoken, like, Jaedong is lucky that Sharp didn't go for Valkyries. Because, like, you know, yeah, at least you can actually, like, you know, dodge it, you can split the mutas. Like, Valkyrie will be, like, honestly, like, the knife here for Jaedong. So, I mean, I'm still a believer that with a good engage, good micro, maybe there is a chance, like, Jaedong can hold this attack.
Yeah, it could happen, but this bio is upgraded. We've got 3 vessels out. So, and we have, I think, 1 irradiate available right now. Oh, the mutas are just so weak. They just don't have the health, and he's going to lose his entire army. Mowed down. Well done from Sharp. Great build, great execution. And that means we've got TVT as our winner's match.
Yeah, that means we got an elimination match with Jaedong and Queen.
Yeah.
That's how this group is starting. And Jaedong is disappointed with that game.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that means we're going to eliminate a Terran, so we can't have Terran versus Terran again. But, yeah. Oh, man. That is unlucky that we're going to have 2 favorites in the losers match. Jaedong versus Queen. But Sharp, you got to give credit to him. He played well. I thought he was in trouble with his counterattack to bottom right. Like, the mutas were doing so much damage, but I guess it wasn't enough, like you were saying. He was killing a lot of Marines, killing a lot of turrets, but wasn't, like, did he disrupt the econ? Like, the SCV count still seems pretty high. Yeah, look at the SCV count, 44 workers. That's a lot.
There was a moment that I saw Jaedong fighting with the mutas, like, close to the barracks, and they were, like, getting so much damage and all dying so fast. Like, I feel like Jaedong just, like, made a micro mistake in that specific moment.
Yeah, I don't know. It is true that the mutas did take a lot of damage at some point. Where was that moment?
Look, like, it's very close to this moment, I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of those mutas are now damaged, so they must die. Like,
look at this. This is the moment. Like,
yeah.
now,
yeah.
that has to be a mistake.
Yeah, look at that. He just lost. Wow, he lost like 6 mutas so quickly right there, and that's really what did him in. I'm still sad about the no lurkers because he had the Hydrogen. Like, it was sitting in his main. Like I said, if he got 2 lurkers into the main, I think he could have won it because he would have sat on the production. But, you know, it is what it is. We're not going into the ad yet. We got to have that Hot Six commercial first.
Um, like the thing is that you can, if you're making that many mutas, you don't have gas. Like that is
Yeah.
100 gas for each mutant. Yeah, maybe some lurkers could be good, but he made that many mutas. Like I really doubt he could even like make that many lurkers either.
Yeah, I mean, since we don't have the production tab, maybe he didn't even upgrade the lurker upgrade at all. But you're right. Every time I kept looking at his gas, I'm like, dude, that's so low. That is extremely low. What do you think Jaedong should have done there? Obviously, there was a couple engagements that went poorly for him with the low health mutas, but what else could he have done? Was it the angle? Should he have not dived the main? Should he have gone for the natural, for example? Or what do you think?
Well, the thing is like the early games. The early game is what mattered the most in StarCraft. Like if you actually get your early game destroyed, like you lose confidence. Your build is like so slow. Like Jaedong, he made all these serlings that he probably didn't need them because like Sharp never committed. And on top of that, he lose the serling right away. Like all that larva, all that investment now is gone. And then you are like with 3 mutas going to the Terran base, you do nothing. Like imagine Jaedong going with 7 mutas and Sharp like he didn't have the turrets ready like he did in that game. It could be such a different game, sniping the turret, already forcing damage, and being aggressive to the Marines. But none of that actually happened because of the early game. And already with that mentality, like I'm pretty sure Jaedong is already thinking, I need to make something happen. I need to make something happen. And then his tier expansion, when he tried to start it, there is a firebat. So he already need to come back, deal with that, losing so much momentum in the game. For like Sharp is making Marines non-stop. Like it's going to be harder and harder for Jaden to do damage. So in the end, he just commit and like pray for that to work, but it didn't.
Yeah, that is true. I forgot about those Zerglings in the beginning. Like, yes, he wasn't able to build mutas, but even if he had saved those 12 lings, that initial engagement versus the Marine Medic, even if he had saved those 12 lings, like if that attack never happened, he could have used that with his Muta Ling combo at near the end, and that would have been 12 more lings that maybe would have given him enough to overrun the main. So I agree. The little things did add up, and in the end, allowed Sharp to get the victory. So we are going into a break now, and we'll be back in just a moment. Our winners match is upon us, and we do have a Tempest ban from both sides, and we're going to have Invader. So not only is it going to be one of the few games we've had on Invader, it's technically not our first Terran versus Terran because we did have Leda versus Mong, but it's kind of our first real Terran versus Terran because that Leda versus Mong game, that was over so quickly, I don't even really consider that a TVT. So I'm hoping we're going to get an epic game right here on Invader. It's also a 2-player map, so the potential for this to go split map is very, very high.
Yeah. Yeah, Mon. I don't even remember what build.
It was the 2-fact Vulture run by from Leda. Remember, Mong walled off and it wasn't a wall, and then he got into the base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say what? You're saying better, but that was on La Campanella, no?
Yeah, it was La Campanella. Our map right now is Invader.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
a bit loose. You know, like this is going to be difficult because like these two players, they love to draw the map. That's their style. Like that's the at least Sharp. He is always looking to do that, and in my opinion, this is like one of the most hardest maps to do such thing.
Yeah, it is going to be tough, even though it is a 2-player map. This map does have a lot of high grounds, a lot of counterattack potential, and Terran versus Terran all about positioning. So if somebody gets high ground at top right, for example, you know, they're going to have access to that base, and that could be the extra base that they need to win the game. We do have Sharp in the top left, Ample in the bottom right, and if I was to make predictions for builds, Sharp to me, Vulture type of player. He can play it all though. Wouldn't be surprised if he mixes it up with Wraith or something. And then Ample also he can play Vultures, but a lot of times I see him play safe openers. Something like Tank Goliath, Tank Vulture, or with an armory, something that will be a catch-all versus everything. We've actually got an Ample fan right there, Sashin Terran. And I couldn't read that one, but so far we don't see any shenanigans going on. Not going to be 8 racks. Not going to be proxy racks anywhere.
Yeah, they're playing very classic and Nyoken, and like I mentioned before, like this Sharp, he really like he plays to draw the map. He's not really this like aggressive player in TBT at least. He is very disciplined with his play in TBT. And sometimes, in my opinion, he plays against him because he's not really using the opportunities to finish the game. So sometimes he's like in these good positions and end up losing the game.
Well, we'll see if that comes to bite him this time. We do have a 12 gas from Sharp, and we do have most likely going to be gasless expand from Ample. And yeah, it should be gasless. He is going to go for somewhat of a quick scout in Terran versus Terran because Marines aren't really that great versus SCVs in general unless you're going like BBS or something. A lot of times Terran players scout really late, but this is going to be a 13 scout from both sides, and actually they're going to intercept each other in the center of the map.
Yeah, funny enough, I was thinking like that was the build that it was going to be play out on this map, like Barrack expansion. Honestly, I'm surprised like Sharp is going factory like this.
Well, what does make this interesting is with it being a 2-player map, Sharp sees that, hey dude, you went straight gasless. Sharp could go for some type of gas-based all-in, but he stopped mining gas at all, so he's gonna respond with a command center of his own, unless he gets sneaky here, kills the SCV, and then goes back onto gas. But so far, it doesn't seem like that's what he's gonna do.
Well, if that would be the case, he probably needed more Marines as well, right?
Yeah, now with the lifted racks, the chance of this happening is 100% not gonna happen. It's gonna be just a command center follow-up. So Ample's got a really good opener right here. He's gonna be up a few SCVs. Of course, Sharp will be able to pressure if he wants with some tank harassment, similar to what Dragoons do to Terran when they go gasless expand. But no instant add. Okay, there's the add-on. I was surprised that there was no instant add-on.
Oh my god, this
gets
scout is so huge. Like, actually, Ample is skipping a bunker and everything.
Yeah, he can skip that bunker for a long time, but it looks like he's still going to build it regardless. But yeah, he could have skipped it a little bit longer. There is no second factory for Sharp. No starport either. So for now, it is just one factory tank.
SCB-wise,
Oh, maybe not.
do you think that this is a big advantage for Ample right here?
Well, it's not a huge advantage, but it's a decent amount of SCVs, and it's actually not going to be tanks, by the way. It's going to be vultures. Now, this could be mines. It could be speed. I have seen some players go speed. If they think that you do not have a complete wall, they just go for the run-by. We'll have to wait and see if Sharp goes for that, because if he goes for a run-by and gets denied, well, he'll be in trouble here. But now he's going to see... Well, I'm not sure if he actually saw that depot, but regardless, Ample does have a starport going in his main also. So this seems like it could be potentially drops or even Wraith if he wants to.
Yeah, I feel like from Sharp we are going to see mines. It makes sense because like just controlling the map like that early on, he need to... Oh wait, no! It was a speed!
Yeah, you never know with Terran players. Like, I agree, I actually like mines. Even if they can't trigger on vultures, at least it gives you vision. At least if Terran like ever has tanks misstep, you can blow up the tanks. But he still goes for speed. Not a big commitment, of course, because... Or not a big deal, because even though he gets denied, he didn't lose any vultures. So it's still fine for him. But this is double factory, double add-on with a starport, so it's actually going to be Wraith too. He has a lot of Marines here, so he will be able to kill this barracks. Barracks will spot the starport though, so that's great for him.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Ample has to be happy. These vultures have really no...
Look at that. That's a complete wall. I was thinking that might be a complete wall right there, and it is.
Finally, mines. I feel like that is a good choice to make that many mines like this, going to slow down Ample. And I'm glad that Sharp was able to make that tier factory before losing the barrack, because sometimes it can get tricky to lose your barrack and not making more production.
Yeah, if you lose the racks, you got to build the academy, or you got to rebuild that, and then maybe your academy is delayed. Like you said, the third factory could be delayed. He's even going into 4-fact. I think 4-fact is probably the maximum you would want to build at this stage in the game. But he does have Goliath coming out to push that single Wraith back. There is no add-on onto the starport. But Sharp has no tanks right now, so his army is kind of weak.
Yeah, he can use these Marines to clean the mines as well.
Yep, clears one of them for free. And that racks should get taken down, but maybe not, because Goliaths are on the way and there are still mines on the field to defend for Sharp. I am getting worried with there being no tanks for Sharp and there being 5 for Ample. Like, that's a big deal. Now he may even gift a Goliath.
What is that Goliath doing?
Yeah, that was an overextension there. He's gonna... Well, he should lose that one. Yeah, that one's going to go bye-bye real quick. Sharp's supply is very high, 81 to 69, but his units, they're not that strong unless a mine can connect, so we'll be looking for that.
Yeah, the supply right now, honestly, is vultures, and he's like building some tanks now. But look at Ample, 5 factories, tier CC already going to start as well. Vision with the Grace. I really like Ample position in this game.
Yeah, Ample knows the threat of the mines, so he's not willing to push across the map without vision or without knowledge of where the mines are actually placed. I think this is a smart move. Instead, he's going to build that command center in just a moment. And Sharp also recognizes, like, hey, You're probably not going to be willing to push into mines, so I'm going to take an expansion also. But Sharp moving, or Ample moving into that high ground like I was talking about. No tanks up there just yet, though.
That is a dangerous position, by the way. If actually Ample...
Oh, an opening.
Like,
An opening. Okay, but I don't think these vultures have mines, so how much damage can they actually really do? And the answer is, well, almost none, really. He gets into the main, maybe he'll pop a couple SCVs, but at least he doesn't lose too many vultures for this. He, I think, split off about 4 of them, so not bad.
I would say that was decent because
Yeah.
he already used the mines.
Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no!
Oh!
Okay.
Wait, what?
Barely. Okay, well, siege in favor of Sharp. Really well done. And now Ample's attacking uphill. 3 tanks get blown up in an instant. Oh my gosh. The shots are so amazing for Sharp. He kills 5 tanks while only losing 2 or 3 himself. Mine connects, though. And there's the trade that Ample was looking for. Okay. Both players dealing really a lot of damage here. Well done from both sides.
It's almost like they trade equal.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. Almost exactly equal for both sides there. Both sides also have a good factory count. 5 for Ample right now. I think it's maybe 4 for Sharp, but regardless, supplies are pretty close. Third base timing also pretty close. I would like to see the upgrades. Okay, no upgrades for Sharp just yet, but also no upgrades for Ample. However, tanks are in an advantageous position right now for Ample. However, it's only 2 tanks, and Sharp needs to clean this up ASAP.
I feel sorry that Ample was not disciplined enough to retrieve from that attack he was doing. Like, he just come from this way. That what he's doing now, he will be in a good position, place his tanks well, have like high ground advantage, and yeah, he just like lose all the momentum. Honestly.
Yeah, he lost a lot of tanks for that, but he still has good production. He still has his third base slightly faster. It seems like the game is pretty stable right now. For some reason, there's a random vulture up here to spot this dropship, so it's going to get shut down pretty easily, I imagine. Even race out on the field, but it's instantly scanned, so the dropships may be able to turn around, but no, he's still going to commit. That means that this drop is dead in the water. Oh, and that's an expensive drop too. 2 tanks.
Well, Ample throwing a bit of units right now. You know what? I honestly like. I feel like his next move has to be like secure a 4 base, and somehow trying to hold. But look at Sharp. Like, you know, at this level, you make this kind of mistakes, you are going to get punished for it instantly.
Yep.
Like, what Sharp is doing now is what Ample was supposed to do earlier.
Yep, and Sharp has gotten that high ground that I talked about, which means he will have access to top right. He also has the race, and as I stated, Terran versus Terran, all about positioning, and it just can't be better for Sharp right now. Luckily, Ample has Valkyrie to come in here and help shut down these races, so he may be able to push it back. But the problem is the tank count is absurd for Sharp now in comparison to Ample's tank count.
Yeah, it's really high. With that dropship he did and lose the tanks, that was not ideal. I honestly like, how do you actually break this contain, because it's going to keep getting stronger.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe he can get a D-Matrix, but I don't think he has a vessel coming anytime soon, and then you're going to have to wait like a minute for energy, so we were looking at around, you know, like 3 minutes probably before that could even happen, and by then the tank count would just be ridiculous, so I actually don't think that Ample can probably ever break that. I think his best course... Oh, did I just drop? Nope, I did not. I think his best course of action is to actually try and split the map to bottom left.
Yeah, we're having issues with the stream right now, so it's lagging.
Yeah, it looks like it's lagging a little bit on Afrika's end. Hopefully it will stabilize. Looks like it did stabilize now, so that's good. Supplies are still even, but Terran versus Terran can be deceiving, because you see how many vultures Ample has. That's a ton. Whereas I don't see very many vultures for Sharp. So that means that he's got a lot of tanks. However, Ample does find an opening here.
Yeah, he's coming for this space, and
Big hits.
honestly, he's doing a lot of damage. Kill all the siege tanks almost.
Yeah, and this is an awkward position now because now Ample has cut off reinforcements of Sharp. We've got vultures into the third base. This was perfection. I guess Sharp overextended with his tanks on that high ground. He's going to try and turn around, but he's going to lose his base.
Your base eco is almost dead, Nyoken. But you know what? Sharp has enough army to actually clean this army. The move was really good, but he's going to lose this army. I don't really know. It's still losing siege tanks here.
Yeah, he loses his entire army, and I don't think he traded that well tank for tank. But the fact that he shut down the base completely, I think that was an okay trade for him. Supplies have been reset again. Ample needs to get onto that high ground, though. He's got to get up there. He cannot let Sharp put 10 tanks up there, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now Ample's in a pretty decent position. He's even up, well, I guess he's even in bases, but his SCV count should be higher now. And there's the vessel that I was talking about. He does have D-Matrix. Oh!
Okay.
Oh, okay. This game is really starting to favor Ample at this point. If he can get the D-Matrix down, he's on the high ground. Neither player has +2. There's the D-Matrix that I was talking about. Two tanks for one.
Beautiful. That was that D-Matrix of defense and killing those 2 siege tanks. Beautiful. On top of that, he's also denying. Oh wait, never mind. That was Sharp denying the new Ample base. But he's probably going to retake that because now he's controlling that zone. So Sharp, he has to make sure now he's taking bottom.
Yeah, this is such a great position now for Ample. Really making it happen with that attack to the third base. I think he has like 8 or 9 factories too. I think it's in favor of Ample now. And look at this, because he has high ground vision, he can slowly creep on top of these tanks, trade 2 or 3 tanks for nothing, and he is slowly pushing his advantage.
Good counter-attack by Sharp on that for expansion, killing in the SCVs. But I mean, he's losing so many tanks, and Ample is still advancing, making a lot of progress in a TBT that is so hard. Oh my god, even dropship now in the third base of Sharp.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if we were going to have dropship man, and it's going to be a Goliath tank drop. An interesting 16-minute drop. He does kill 1 tank. He will lose this drop though, but this is an amazing position. We do have 2-1 now for Ample, so really crushing it right now. Not sure of what Sharp's upgrades are. Hopefully he's at +2, because if he's down weapon upgrades versus Terran, he is going to be in big time trouble.
Like if you look at the supply, like Ample is like almost close to max. Positioning is so insane, and look at this, like Ample using the map so well, like coming from different sides. Beautiful game by Ample. I honestly thought he was in trouble, and he's rising here like crazy.
Yeah, if he can, I think if he goes with another D-Matrix, he can just push the victory. And look at that. As I say that he gets the energy for D-Matrix, he's up. Well, he was up 40 supply. Now he's not up so much. Maybe an overextension here with so many tanks on the high ground. Okay, well.
This counter attack can be dangerous to that for expansion of Ample.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even have any defense, like nothing.
Yep, we knew this was going to happen. This is a map that we knew was going to be a lot of counterattack. And there we go. Sharp is now overlooking the 4th base.
Oh. Need to be careful, he can't fight that cliff.
No, you cannot. I think he's got to pull SCVs for this. Oh my god, 5 tanks just blowing up so much stuff, focusing down the tanks in particular. No SCV pull means that Sharp trade's amazing, and he's gonna reinforce this with more drops. Actually, may just be going straight into the main. This could be the move that Sharp was looking for if he overlooks the 4th base while also sieging the factories.
Without roaches, I don't know how do you deal with this army.
Oh, he doesn't unload. He only gets a couple of units out. Ample falling apart. That one doesn't unload either. Look at the supplies. Eonzerg plummets.
Sharp is doing so much damage now, and on top of that, he's like in the production as well. He's forcing that base to leave. I mean, I feel like it's too much damage. I don't really know how do you recover now from that, especially without eco.
Yeah, multitask is absolutely ballistic for Sharp right now. His drops are still alive. He's busting this container. He's going to drop the third base. Ample couldn't deal with the drop on the fourth base. Now he's going to have to deal with the drop on the third base. And at the same time, Sharp's continuing to push through the center. SCVs, I don't think, can save the day here. Maybe the tanks do come back from the top right, and they do get off the first shot there, so he's going to knock down some tanks. But still, it's a 50 supply lead for Sharp. He's taking a fifth base. Ample does have top right, but he's falling apart everywhere.
Man, Sharp is going so aggressive right now. It looks like he actually realized, you know what, I can finish this guy right now. Honestly, he's doing well. Look at this, killing all the eco in that new expansion from Ample as well. Ample has to be mining right now very, very little. He can make more units.
Yep.
He's not even mining.
I think this is it, actually. I think with the top right being shut down and with no map control at all for Ample, Sharp has done it. He's got so much econ. He's got so many tanks. He's gonna kill top right 100%. This was an amazing game from both sides. I thought Ample was down and out. Then he had that great attack on the third base. Now Sharp with this killer counter drop and also counter offensive at top right and mid right at the same time. And we are moments away from seeing Sharp take this game unless there's some type of miracle hold.
At some point it was 180 population against 140 for Ample. This is crazy.
Playing out of his mind with Sharp with that counter attack. We knew that this map was going to really deliver, especially in TVT. That turret may be able to even get a kill, and this could be the killing blow. I hear tons of scans going off. I see that Ample's got a lot of his defense on the third base, but I don't think the drops of Sharp ever got killed. So Sharp, if he loops around to the bottom side and just elevators into the main, that could be lights out.
Yeah, looks like Ample killing some units for free right now. But I mean, he's mine out, of course, in the main, the natural. The tier base is saturated. Maybe he can retake the 4th expansion, at the bottom, Nyoken.
I think that's the only base he can try to take, but Sharp's sitting there. Even if it's just vultures, the vultures can lay mines. These tanks are dead. Did we cut out again?
We have issues with the stream, apparently.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but this is going to be the last hope right there. Oh my god, the tank blows each other up. Yeah, this has got to be it, right? He desperately has to have it. He's got to get this. There's just
he
not
has a
enough
D-Matrix.
tanks. He's got D-Matrix, but Sharp's got so much stuff. Okay, unloading the tanks. Here we go. It's too much, man. It's too much. Tanks all blow up. Goliaths are all going to die too. 4th base cannot be retaken. Sharp is still 60 supply up.
It's surprising to see Sharp making a comeback like that. I don't see that kind of game from him very often. GG.
And look at that reaction. Sharp, he's ecstatic, man. He played very well this game. I am so happy that he ends up making it out in first place. Gotta give props to Ample too, because he played out of his mind too. But once you lose the flow of the game, tanks, mines, they're so punishing. It's so hard to recover from that point.
And Nyoken, he was doing so well.
Yeah, I know.
The base-wise, eco-wise, 180 population against 140 Nyoken. That's how good he was doing in this matchup. And all of that was gone in a blink with that counter-attack.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ample knows, okay, I played great. It was just I didn't have enough defense at bottom left. If he plugs up that hole, even if he loses the 4th base, right? Even if he loses that, I still think he's in an okay position because at least he doesn't get his main ransacked. At least he doesn't have to get picked apart in that sense. He wouldn't have lost top right and mid right at the same time. This is what it all came down to. This one single move from Sharp completely turning the tides of the game.
Yeah, it was a great move. and then with the draw chips as well. Yeah, that was a great move, like winning game right
Yep.
here.
Right here. As soon as the drops came in, I'm like, dude, go to the main. You don't need any more on this. And that's exactly what he did. And once you get here, actually, the drops did not have as many tanks as I thought. So the fact that this drop was as skimpy as it was, I think there was actual hope that Ample could have held it if he pulled like all of his SCVs from his natural. And of course, if he didn't get these drop ships picked off. The fact that the drop ships instantly died and he didn't get to unload anything, that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, he didn't really. He didn't really like. He was not prepared for that. Like you could see he panicked when he sent like 2 dropships and then sent 1 dropship alone. Like instead of like sending all the dropships at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation, right? You're getting attacked on two fronts, trying to manage that while also expanding, and also, top right is very critical too. So, unfortunately, unable to defend it, but congrats to Sharp. He played very well, and someone in the chat from Africa was mentioning earlier that actually Sharp is very high rated amongst the pros right now. He's in the top 5, if I remember correctly, on Elo. So that's impressive. I guess Sharp is really killing it these days.
Oh, 5 in Elo? What?
Yeah, somebody was saying that it was, looks like I refreshed the chat, but yeah, he was in the top 5, and I don't remember reading any other big Terran names in the top 5.
Oh, I have well, like I watch Pro Leagues very often. I almost don't see like Sharp like at least like playing in the big Pro Leagues.
Well, I don't know, man. I'll have to check out this board that they were mentioning, Elo board. I'm not sure exactly of the address. I was looking for Spawn Bong earlier, or a couple days ago, and I don't know if that site went down anymore, but I couldn't find it. But yeah.
But honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, congratulations to
Yeah.
Sharp. Honestly, he played good games today. Like, very solid, by the way.
Yeah.
I will say, like in the last game, there were like moments like he was like shaking a bit. I'm not really sure if that was the product of like Ample doing like really good moves or I mean for sure like that was Ample playing really good. But in my opinion, he played very very solid and he was able to overcome a bad situation. That is really important in StarCraft. The moment you can overcome these situations, you grow so much from that and give you confidence. So that is great.
Yeah, and you can tell that he's really happy about making it into the round of 16. And Sharp is definitely a killer in TVT. I don't think anybody can match Flash in Terran versus Terran. I would take Flash versus anybody. But if I had to pick a player to face off versus Flash, Sharp would definitely be up there. Sock also another player, but definitely Sharp and Sock. They are amazing Terran versus Terran, and he really delivered in our last game. And also the game versus Jaedong, that was also quite impressive from Sharp. So overall today, just really crushing it and looking forward to his games in the round of 16.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised because like Sharp always been the guy that he has like troubles like dealing with nervous and all of that. So like performing here in the best of one, this is going to be like a great confidence boost. And winning that last game is a plus as well. I gonna be honest with you in this group, I didn't have him like going out.
Sharp, you didn't have him go him out?
Yeah, that was for sure. I thought it would be Queen and Jaedong.
I think every group so far we thought for sure this one person's gonna make it out, and then almost every time they end up. I mean, they may end up making it out overall, but they've like always been sent to the losers match. I agree.
That is true.
I agree. I also have Queen and Jaedong, but I'm happy that we got a Terran out because we already have so many Zergs.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be. I mean, this is going to be a great boosting confidence for Sharp, and he needs it. He's the kind of player that I feel like he needs it to perform well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to be going into a break now. We're going to be going into our losers match, Queen versus Jaedong. That's going to be absolutely epic, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, we're back already. Didn't even realize. And we do have a Tempest ban and La Campanella ban. And we're going to have Invader again, Eonzerg. This time it's going to be ZVZ.
Today is Invader Day.
It is.
2 players map CBC. Who is going to be the one to play greedy, Nyoken? Who is going to do that 12 hash? You know, I have a funny story.
Yeah.
There was a season in MSL. Jaedong and Queen, I think they play in the semifinals. And Jaedong, like back then, he used to be like a big deal. He was always so confident in CBC. But you know what? Jaedong decides to play against Queen like 12 hash every game.
Every game?
And he was dying to 9 pulls. That's actually how he got eliminated.
Okay. That is funny. You would think at some point, like, dude, you got to switch it up. But I'm sure Queen was probably thinking, like, you're not going to do it again, are you? Well, it's already winning. I might as well just 9 pool again. that is hilarious.
Yeah. None of them actually changed the field order. Like, you're doing 12, I'm doing 9.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because, like I was saying yesterday, I was looking at some Pro League games, and I did find a recent game. It was on Tempest, Jaedong versus Queen, and I think Jaedong did 12 hatch that game, and Queen 9 pooled. Jaedong ended up winning. He somehow held his base. But yeah, that is funny that you mentioned that. And the one game I watched yesterday, also a 12 pool, or 12 hatch versus 9 pool. Regardless, our players are ready. It's Invader again. Let's get into our losers match. Okay, in the top left, in the orange, it is Queen. And in the bottom right, in the blue, the Tyrant, it is Jaedong.
Oh my god, this is it's getting my nervous. It's always so stressful to see these games start CBC, and then you are like, he's going to do 12 pool, he's going to do 12 hash. Is this 9 pool? Is this over, guys? What is this?
Yeah, exactly. And this map seems like the rush distances are pretty quick. I've got my eyes locked on that supply. If we see him go over 100 minerals, somebody's gonna be in trouble probably. Let's see. Is anybody gonna go? Okay, Overlord for Jaedong. Pool first for Queen. Eonzerg the Prophet. He knows that it's gonna be 12 hatch.
We have another foreigner fan in the public.
Jaedong, please. Dude. Is it 12 hatch again?
Could be 12 pool, Nyoken. It's 12
It's
pool.
not.
No. It's 11 hatchery.
Okay, 11 hatchery. It will allow him to get up a pool slightly faster, but does that matter? Like, is it going to give him enough time to be able to defend this?
Yeah, there are a few things. For example, if actually Queen, he's going 9 pool, and he goes later no speed, there is actually like a chance to survive this.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you are doing layer first, you don't make that many serlings. But if he actually commits to serlings, I honestly don't know how can Jaedong like hold this.
Well, he pulled off of gas, and he might have gone lair. He did go lair. Okay, no speed. So let me ask you. Obviously, I'm not a Zerg player. Is it just a random choice between speed and lair? Like, are there certain maps that you're always going speed, or like, why do you think he went lair this particular game?
Well, it's map dependent, and also it's like the easier you can defend the entrance of your main. I mean, you can be more greedy. You know, you don't need to make that many serlings. Don't even need to make a sunken early on, and you can survive actually a good amount of waves of serlings. So Jaedong here, he needs to pull drones. He doesn't really, he can let this hatchery to die, but I don't think the hatchery is going to die, Nyoken. I think he's going to put a good defense.
Well, if we look at the Overlord for Jaedong, he does have vision of some gas up there, so he can drill with these drones now. However, I think that hatch is dead. Oh no, he's lost multiple drones. He's desperately going for it. He ends up saving it, but he loses a lot of drones from this. However, in the game I watched the other day, on Tempest, he also a lot of drones, and he was able to play out from this.
Yeah, because the expansion is running. He's going to be able now to produce drones from two bases. Now the thing is, since Zero didn't really make that many drones, his eco is actually. Wait a minute, what? Why are these serlings? He's already. Wait, what?
He didn't.
What is Jaedong doing? Like now his hatchery is exposed.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He does have 4 lings, I guess, to try and defend. Okay, his speed kicks in, so he would be able to get back in time. But yeah, that was an interesting move. But look at this. Queen, realizing that he can't be broken, doesn't even build a sunken colony to defend the counterattack. So really good game sense there. But Jaedong should be able to transition out of this. He needs to get his evolution triggered.
The good thing is like Jaedong actually forced Queen to make more serlings, so he didn't like drone heavily. But I was mentioning that, you know, like look at Queen making a hatchery already, and the good thing. Oh my god! Okay, I didn't see that coming. Oh my god! He actually going to use the gas from the ramp.
I've seen it all, Eonzerg. In base hatchery, but close enough to the gas where he can mine with, I'll say maybe like 5 drones if he wants. This is wild.
I didn't see this build since Match Point. That was something common in Match Point.
Oh, was it? Okay, I haven't seen that even on that map either. Interesting.
But you know what, Nyoken, like tech-wise, like Queen is doing really well, and he's going to have a great advantage. So hopefully Jaedong takes notes from effort, and he decides to go Hive this time, because it's going to be hard to overcome this tech advantage.
Yep, and we do have the first few mutas out on the map. Jaedong looking to do some type of counterattack, but There's really nothing that he can attack right now. Gonna have just a small Ling skirmish, I guess.
Oh my god, that micro.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, I do want to point out is I think there is no spore at the bottom side of Jaedong's main. I did notice one near the spawning pool. Yeah, there's nothing there, so that is an opening that Queen could exploit.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's worried about the Zerling counterattack. Jaedong doing a good job, actually, forcing Queen to be not so active with the mutas right now. On top of that, he only has like 4 mutas. If it was okay, now it's 5. Now he can snipe drones, and he's probably going for it.
Yeah, I'm getting worried now because there's still no spore at the bottom side, by the way. Okay, now there is. Okay, good timing from Jaedong. Perfect timing, in fact.
Yeah, eco-wise, he's doing very, very good. I feel like he can even afford making a tier hatchery. And Queen, I'm worried because he didn't make a second expansion yet.
Yep, even though he has that hatch completed, he has not taken the gas. He's not mining the minerals there. Good pick off on that drone. We do have the Spire coming down for Jaedong now. And seeing that gas, Jaedong is probably thinking, what the heck is that?
Yeah, but long term, that is not an effective mining gas. Yeah. He's going to need like at least like 6 workers to get that thing working.
Yeah, that is true. Jaedong gets in there.
Look at Jaedong there, already making a Spire. I'm really confident Jaedong is going to have a good comeback here.
Yeah, I feel like Jaedong seeing this, where the guy didn't take the nat and instead did this weird hatchery timing or weird hatchery placement. I feel like Jaedong is feeling ecstatic. This is 4 drones on gas, and even that's, well, it's pretty close to efficient actually. Wow, that mining path is. Never seen it before. Okay, there we go. That's more of what I was expecting the drone to do. But look at that. How does it mine from the top like that?
He needs one more drone in that gas. It's not really going to mine effective. And long term, he actually he needs one more hatchery, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if he's upgrading his mutas as well. That could be also a reason he didn't make that tier hatchery.
Yeah, and like every extra drone that's on gas could have been on minerals, and you know. ZBZ, you're always low mining minerals.
A lot of Zerlings and Nyoken, this could be dangerous if Queen goes again to Jaedong main.
That is true. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But so far, Queen's done a good job to get a lot of free Zergling kills.
Because how for Jaedong, he already building his gas. Oh no! That gas from Jaedong, man, is affected by the spore.
Yeah, I just now realized that too, and we do have the 3rd hatchery coming down for Queen. Well, Jaedong does need to start doing something now, because now he's starting to fall behind in terms of larva production. He did lose a decent amount of drones at his natural also, and these Lings have not done anything for him.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, they have done not too much, but at least it's keeping Queen in check, you know, look at this. He already got that Zerling in the main. Not going to do too much, but at least forcing Queen to be away from Jaedong main. But yeah, long term here for Jaedong, he probably need to think about an expansion, or you know what? I'm surprised he didn't even have that many drones in that natural.
Yeah, and I just keep seeing more and more Lings being built, so Jaedong really wants to punish this 3rd hatch, but supplies are basically even. However, I think the Muta fight favors Queen right now. I think it's 10 versus 8, or it was a moment ago. Clearly the armor upgrade is going to be in favor of Jaedong.
Oh no!
Scourge don't connect though. Good control from both sides. He's going to fight under a spore. Okay, that's great. And actually, Jaedong has 10 or 9 versus 10, but still a favorable trade for Queen.
What are you doing?
He's just going for a massive Ling counterattack. Okay, he may be able to shut this down. That's a lot of Lings. Wow, okay, can he get it? Oh, however, there's going to be a big Muta fight, but he is going to lose the hatch. However, Ling's into the main. Ling's in the natural. Oh, man. How many drones can he get? The answer is... It looked like none, actually. So well done, good defense there. And losing the 3rd hatch is obviously very big. But critically, Queen lost no drones there, so he continues to just mine the gas. And he's still up Mutas, I think.
Wow, tier expansion by Jaedong in the face of Queen that now can punish this. Maybe Jaedong going for a counter attack actually.
He's just gonna sack his third base. Okay.
I mean, he has to, like, how do you defend that?
Well, if he's gonna sack his third base, then he needs to sack it. Yeah, he is just gonna go for it. He's got another massive counterattack, but this is not enough mutas. If there's a muta battle, Queen will overwhelmingly win this fight.
But the Queen need to deal with the Cernis in the main, need to deal with the mutas. It's a bit of multitasking now, taxing for him. And look at them now, the tier hatcher is up, probably need to make that spore. But Queen right away, like, counter-attack with mutas. I don't know if Jaedong is going to be able to defend this.
Jaedong's too confident. He didn't instantly build a spore, and he's gonna get punished here. This is way more mutas for Queen. Scourge are gonna try and save the day. None of them connect. If he can get the spore up, that could be game changing. But look how many lings are left over for Queen now. Now it's very awkward. We've got the second group of mutas coming in. Still only one group of mutas, I think, for Jaedong. Lings in the natural too. Queen's everywhere.
Yeah, Jaedong, I mean, that hatcher is dead now. And Grey-wise, I'm pretty sure, like, Queen is also ahead. I'm not really sure, like, he doesn't even have the numbers.
This is the final
does he?
battle. Oh.
Wait a minute, Jaedong's winning that.
Yeah, okay, he is winning that actually. What happened? There's an overwhelming amount of mutas. And remember, Queen does not have spores. Lings into the main so we could have a base trade scenario, but Jaedong doesn't commit to it. Instead, he turns around.
The Spire, Nyoken, he
can
lose the Spire. He can
oh.
lose the Spire.
Yeah, he cannot lose the Spire. He's losing all of his drones too. Oh my gosh. I think if Jaedong had gone for the counter all in, maybe he could have won. I don't know. But still, this game is razor thin close. It is 62 supply to 59. There's still somehow a ling in the main. Luckily, Jaedong does save his Spire, though. +2 armor is now complete for Queen. He now has basically full saturation at his natural.
Yeah, and now you can, like... Grey-wise, like, Queen is doing well. Jaedong actually... What he's going to be his next move, even making one more spot, actually. Maybe he's, like, planning to do a base trade, or... Like more sports here, like... I don't know, like, what is the move, bro? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jaedong, man, what are you doing, bro? You're making me nervous now, Jaedong.
Yeah, he's got to go for it. The Queen is starting to run away with it. He's got 3 hatches. He's got so much production. Okay, first shot went in favor of Queen. Unfortunately, those Scourge also connect. However, there is a lot of Mutalisk for Jaedong. Okay, more Scourge connect. The upgrade advantage is heavily in favor of Queen, and +2 armor. Yeah, it is just a massive upgrade, and Queen slammed this army. GG comes out, and that means Queen, he is going to avoid elimination.
Wow. GG.
Damn, that was close, though. I thought if Jaedong had gone for that move that he just did, like, a minute ago, I think there was actually a window of opportunity. However, we would have been in a very weird situation where we could have been in a base trade, so I don't fault him for that. But that was very, very close.
Well, first of all, I was surprised he was getting that sauces at some point, that he was, like, winning the fight. But yeah, that was unfortunate that Queen made such a huge link counterattack that I don't think Jaedong, like, he still needed to fight the mutas from Queen. So he then need to deal with the Cernis as well at home. And at some point, that +2 card pace for Queen will also, like hit. So Jaedong mutas will not be that strong either. It was a hard decision to take, to be honest.
Yeah, in the spur of the moment, you got to do with what you think is best. But this is the moment that I was talking about. Like, look at the supply. It's 56 to 55, but this just seemed like a muta advantage. But it could be wrong. We see some mutas being produced from Queen right there. It may have been a misstep to commit to that, but like you said, the Ling counterattack was great here. He almost even gets the Spire, but this killing of the drones, way too much damage. He got multiple drones there, I think. And yeah, it just bought him a lot of time. Look how many mutas he has now.
Yeah, like, yeah, eco-wise, Queen was doing good. But you know what? I don't really understand why Jaedong went like that in the end. Like why? Like why? Why didn't it just like go Queenness?
Yeah, I don't know. We saw Hive yesterday. Effort almost pulled it out. And
Do you
obviously,
think like actually Jaedong thought like he was ahead in mutants?
he might have. It could be the case. Well, we're going to a break, and then we'll be back with the final series of the day, Ample versus Queen. And we are now back and going into our final game of the day. It is going to be Ample versus Queen. We've got a Dark Origin ban and a Polypoid ban. And again, we're going to have Retro as our final map.
Interesting. They all banning, but like banning this Polypoid. And we're getting Retro in the last map.
Yeah, it feels like we've gotten Retro like almost every single time as our final map. And also Polypoid has been banned like almost every single time too. I guess for some reason people just don't want to play on that standard map.
Honestly, I have heard from people that like the most liked map right now for pro gamers is Retro. Like
Oh,
they are
yeah?
they're really enjoying that map.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. I mean, I don't blame them. I think it's a fine map. It's just I was surprised that Polypoid gets banned like every single time, you know?
Yeah, honestly, like Polypoid is not really a map for me either. Like it's so hard to attack on the map. It's always like 4 bases minimum and long games that you can even like
Yeah.
you can really punish expansions and it's always very difficult. So you end up losing like you end up playing these long games that 35 40 minutes and it's a bit tiring.
Okay. Well, looks like we'll be getting into the game in just a moment. We were talking about 3-hatch earlier, and I think you even mentioned Retro as potential for that type of opener. You think Queen might pull it out here?
um Honestly, I don't know, like Queen seems to be like super focused on doing 2.5 hatchery these days. Or at least he plays like maps like Sylphid or like maps like that. So I'm honestly like, curious what he actually like will play. Honestly, I say 2.5 Nyoken.
Okay, well, we'll be looking for it. Players are ready. I'm ready to find out who's going to make it out in second place from our group. It is Ample versus Queen on Retro. So in the, or was it top right position, our red Zerg gets Queen, and in the bottom left, we do have Ample. And this is a rematch from our opening best of one, where Ample had a sick 5 racks, and unfortunately for Queen fans, the Mutalings were just not able to hold up and defend it.
Yeah, it was a really solid planning from Ample. Even with the like everything that Queen did well to stop it, like sniping Marines from the rally point, sniping medics. Even with all of that, Ample was like able to win. What is this? 8 racks?
We got an 8 racks, man. So again, in the game that matters the most, we've got another Terran player willing to risk an 8 racks. We saw this yesterday in Light versus Effort. And Light, unfortunately, did not have the best 8 racks. Effort cleaned it up really well. This might actually be... Okay, I thought it might actually be BBS because I've been seeing some players play BBS, but it is just going to be a wall with the forward racks. I think this is a great build, especially on this position where you can just float it back for the wall. So really nice opener from Ample here.
And Queen the 12 hash. Let's see if he doesn't go crazy and start to make drones after this hatchery.
Yep, and he...
Wait. Wait. Oh my god, don't tell me.
What, you think this is going to be 3 hatch before pool?
I mean, he's already on 12 drones. He's making... Oh, no way. He's 3 hatcheries now, Nyoken.
I think this is scouting drone.
Oh no, it's just... Okay. Oh, for a moment, I will make hatchery in that position.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Queen might be a confident player, but I think he needs to be sure that you're 14 CCing to go 3 hatch before pool. And if he had done it this game, he would have been in deep trouble, to say the least. However,
Oh no, the drop!
well, he does get to see the 8 racks immediately, so he'll have the perfect response.
And Nyoken, remember that was like 12 pull. So
Yeah.
he actually, his power pull is going to be delayed. So he's going to be forced to use many drones to defend this timing from Ample.
Yeah, this is almost the exact same scenario we had yesterday versus in the Effort game. The only difference here is Effort did not get a gas. Queen's now getting gas, but it's delayed. It's like a 235 gas. There's the drone pull, but he doesn't have anything to drill on. He doesn't have any vision of minerals.
In trouble side, Nyoken. Like, okay, the Sunken is up.
That might die.
It's three Marines, and the bunker is going to be ready, by the way, when the Zerglings are out.
Oh my god, not like this. Queen, not like this. His drone's bugged out. While the Lings just flat out died, the bunker completes. And that Sunken took a lot of damage too. He can kill that.
So risky.
Okay, that might have been an overextension there. Okay, that was good defense there. Queen ends up taking down 2 of the Marines. This is not a commitment, like a big commitment here, so the bunker won't be able to push forward. It is just going to be annoying to deal with.
Kicking the Sunken, that is actually good. Because like Queen now need to be careful that Ample doesn't come again with more Marines. Look at him, it's making more Zerglings. So I will say this is good for Ample because Ample doesn't have any intention to leave that. What is that barrack doing?
Yeah, I guess it's trying to let the SCD in or whatever is coming back. Those Marines are going to die. I still think this was worthwhile. He gets the Sunken, he forced the drone pull, he forced out a lot of Lings, and Ample's build, I mean, he can just power out of this, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's got eBay coming, so we may have another 5 racks follow-up.
Is it a full wall, Nyoken?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a full wall. Those bones at the bottom are not a gap, so the Lings should not be able to get in.
Okay, so he's safe even with these few Marines. I will say that the CC from Ample is still not ready, and look at the spies already like started. So he need to be careful he doesn't miss his timing here with turrets.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see that the command center was a little late. I saw him floating 500 minerals at one point, so maybe Ample didn't do as much damage as I thought he did. We do have the 3rd hatch coming down for Queen. Again, it's in the main, so not on location. Meanwhile, okay, that's quite punishing right there to build a comsat after an 8 racks at 515. So he's going to lose a lot of SCV econ doing that, but he needs the scans because this could be like a lurker bust. You know, lurker Ling into a wall is surprisingly good, actually.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think he's going to be able to do 5 barracks this time.
I don't think so either. I don't think he has the money. I think he's gonna have to just go 4 racks. Like, look how few SCVs he has in the main. That's like, what, 8 or 9 mining minerals? You just flat out need more than that if you're gonna 5 racks.
Yeah. No, I'm even like to transition. Do you need more eco? Like,
yeah.
If actually Queen goes there, and let's imagine Queen goes there, it's not few SCVs. You don't even have a saturation anymore.
Yeah. So likely it's just gonna be the 4 racks. Still gonna have a lot of Marine production, that's for sure. He does have fast +1, so that's gonna be kicking in. And he does have a fast academy, so he will have range and stem all done. We're gonna have another hatch going down for Queen at mid-right. So everything looks very similar to what we saw on the Apocalypse game, at least for Queen.
Yeah, like Queen is doing really good. I honestly like this time he doesn't even need to make Sunkens to defend. He has Zerglings in case like Ample actually tries to be funny and go out with the Marines. Like Ample is forced now to only defend, and he didn't have to do that in the first game.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has to sit back. He will be able to pressure because he does have 4 racks at some point, but he's definitely going to have to wait until he has at least, I would say, 2 groups, maybe even more, to do that. And that's going to give Queen a lot of time to get that 3rd base up and running.
Not only that, if I was Ample, I will be worried already to be making a factory. That factory is going to be delayed no matter what.
Mutas do not find a good angle anywhere though, so far Ample has had great defense, turrets in key position. I also noticed that he did not overbuild turrets at his barracks, so that's good for him. That will allow him to streamline his build a little bit better, be able to catch up in SCV count. We do have the factory coming down again at 740, so everything is well timed from him. He did scan something, but I already forget where the scan went off. Mutas, can they find any Marine kills?
By the way, Nyoken, Queen only did 5 mutas. Like behind that,
oh yeah,
it's only drones. There is not even Zerling speed, and that is a massive army. Honestly,
Yeah.
you need more mutas than that to be able to hold. He made more, but I still think with the +1 upgrade attack, you need at least like few Sankens as well.
yeah. All Zerg players know 5 racks is very strong, but 4 racks can pump out a lot of units too. But now that I'm looking at this bio ball, it's only 2 groups, and also Ample's gonna have to come up a ramp to the 3rd base. So I'm not sure if this will be successful, but if he can get another group across the map, yes, for sure this can do damage. Again, Queen sharking around, see if he can pick off those medics like he did on Apocalypse. So far he can't.
Yeah, like Queen doing a good job right now, like eco-wise.
There's one.
Oh,
That's
you got the one medic, right?
Yeah, that's one way you shut down a bio ball, is you just get rid of the healing. Ling's coming in through the left side. This bio ball is not that strong anymore.
Yeah, but he can't really commit either. Like he doesn't want to lose that many
countering?
mutas either.
No, you can't counter here. This is a huge army. Well, I can tell you this. If Ample gets both these armies together, okay, well, I guess that's not going to happen. But he is going to mow down a decent amount of those mutas. We went from 10 down to 6.
counterattacking.
Yeah, he's countering.
He's counterattacking. But there are many mutas from Queen again. So he
Yeah.
can actually micro like on both sides.
Yeah, does Queen have +1 weapon on his mutas? If he does, then he'll be able to snipe a lot of Marines. There's exposed Marines, another chunk of them fall down. Only 3 medics here. Every stem is so punishing, more mutas dying, but I think the bio ball is just too small at this point. Yep, easily gets cleaned up.
Yeah. Good defense by Queen. Honestly, I'm surprised he made that many mutas. I guess taking that expansion early on is being super like
Oh.
it's helping him so much.
Yep, and Ample heard you, Eonzerg. He's like, you know what? I agree with Eonzerg's analysis. Valkyries, they're good versus mutas, and we're going to have a Valkyrie game this time. And he has the correct read, because there's no lurkers. It's just lair. There's no hive either. This is all in muta Ling. Ample has a legit shot here.
I'm not really sure I agree with this. Like, it's too risky. There is even a bunker in the natural with Marines, so he can even like use Zerlings.
Yeah, I don't know about this either, because the mutas don't have armor, and armor is really good versus Valkyries.
He's even trying to
Oh
keep
no,
that
oh
Valkyrie.
no.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
They didn't fire. Well, I keep looking at... oh wow, that's so many mutas, but Valkyrie pops out. Is there enough mutas? I don't think so, dude. And now Queen is stuck with muta Ling, no Hydra Den, no Queen's Nest versus 5 racks, 1-1 Terran. That is way too late.
Oh my god, it's 11 minutes, a Hydra Den and Queeness. This army is on 1-1, so this army is extremely powerful and the production is on 5 barracks.
Yeah, and like I said, Zerg does not have +1 armor, and he does not kill that Valkyrie. Okay, he needs to kill that. Okay, he gets it. Once Terran reaches like 3 Valkyries and Zerg has no armor, in my opinion, that's when Valkyries get insanely, ridiculously scary.
You're not going for that turrets, right? Okay, he's not doing that.
Even this is going to be hard to stop, though. 2 Valkyries with like 3 groups of Marine Medic versus pure Muta. Okay, he finds another Valkyrie. How does he do it? That is perfect. That's exactly what he needs. He picks off a couple medics, too.
Nyoken, they're so low on HP.
Look at the Valkyrie. It ran across the center of the map. If he picks that off, he can actually do it. Can't lose these Valkyries, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my.
the mutas are so low on HP. That's a huge like viable like. I don't know. I feel like if he's like, I don't know. If he actually like crossed the map, I feel like he could do damage.
I think getting those 2 Valkyries, or 3 Valkyries, Ample lost his window. I think now he has to sit here and wait. Sunkens are coming up. Lurkers are going to be out, and he did not build more Valkyries behind it. It's a Vestal transition. So Queen, by the skin of his teeth, will actually not get punished by this Valkyrie timing. Ample had an amazing opportunity. He's going to let it slip away. He's, of course, not out of it because Zerg is still doesn't even have Defilers just yet. But he had an amazing window with the 3 Valkyries.
You know, like, the thing for Queen here is that he invested a lot of resources on mutants. That is expensive.
Yeah.
That is a lot of gas used on mutants. So he can really stay on 3 bases. He actually needs a 4 expansion.
Yeah, and this Bio Ball is huge. Double Irradiate goes off, and like you said, this was a huge commitment to Mutas. He's losing Overlords. Okay, luckily, he does have some Lurkers morphing. I was gonna be worried if he didn't have anything morphing.
It's only 2 Lurkers now, Nyoken.
Yeah,
this army is massive. Only 2 Sunkens as well. Like, the mutants are very far away.
Yeah, and it's 1-1.
Queen is dead.
1-1 upgrades! The power of 1-1. The split is great. Like you said, the mutants are so far away and they're heavily damaged. Ample, despite losing the Valkyrie timing, he still has a Marine Medic Vessel timing. Scrambling to get in position are these Lurkers. They cannot engage this, I don't think. Muta's going to try and buffer for them, but the Nat has been breached. He's stemmed into the main too. But he doesn't have enough units in the main stemmed up there to actually kill enough drones. Now he's cornered at this natural. He does save the vessels, and again, another big army is moving across the map. If he can keep this alive long enough to hit from both sides, he may be able to bust.
I mean, that next army, I'm pretty sure, like, is killing Queen. Like, how do you hold with this, like, 4 vessels, 5 vessels? I can't even see. Like, I think that's it.
Oh, he double irradiated the Lurker. The same Lurker got irradiated twice. Oh, did it? I thought it did. Maybe it didn't. Here we go. Okay, it didn't actually. Lurkers morph. Mutas are extremely low now. Not a lot of lings. Ample, he might be able to do it. Mutas come in, but they're so dangerously low. They all die, but Lurkers, they do complete in time. Shots are perfect. Still a decent amount of Marines. Marines are so tanky. They're so tanky with the 1-1. He sniped the Defiler. Look at Queen's reaction. He types out. GG. I can't believe it. And Ample, he's going to make it out in 2nd place. Eonzerg is speechless. I thought that Queen was going to hold. There were only 4 Marines there. But apparently 4 Marines are more than enough.
Yeah, the thing is, he invested so much in Mutas. That army was massive. The Mutas went, I don't know what, like, exactly why the Mutas went up, like, to the top left. I honestly, what is in the top left that you went with the Mutas? And yeah, like 2 Sunkens. Like, when I saw that huge army coming to the surveys, I was like, but Queen better has like 6 Sunkens here because, like, he's going to be in troubles. And he was like 2 Lurkers, 2 Sunkens.
Yeah, just barely not enough. Even having 1 Sunken may have been all he needed to hold it, but you got to give props to Ample there. Like, he played out of his absolute mind in the first game on Apocalypse, and then equally playing well here. Losing the Valkyries, I thought he was in big time trouble, but this army is huge. Absolutely crazy amount of Marine Medic, and he hit him right before the Lurkers could hit critical mass.
Yeah, the hive timing and all of that was so delayed, so there wasn't really a chance to survive with the Filer in this game. And the 1-1, the thing is, like, Ample was upgrading so early. Like, when he actually, like, when he was at home, he already had the 1-1. I think I mentioned it at some point. So he was like, upgrade he was really in a good shape. I have to mention, it's impressive that this game, like, it actually ended this way because, like, eco-wise, Ample was not doing so great, but Queen was doing extremely good.
Yeah, we can see the SCV count. 47 on 2 bases is actually pretty freaking good, but the Queen does have the 3 bases. He has the hive tech. He hasn't spent a lot of his gas either. Like, he's got a lot of gas available to him. He could go into, Defilers easily, Mass Hydra Lurker, or even Ultras if he had the upgrades. But This was so close. Literally 4 Marines left over, and there were no reinforcements coming. I think if Queen knew there were no reinforcements coming, maybe he would have stayed. I don't know, though. But regardless, this was just an amazing bust right here. So close.
Imagine this game if he actually didn't lose the Valkyries. Like,
Yeah.
he will just like go straight and kill Queen, because I don't know exactly why Queen never like started his tech. He made so many mutants. He could just like start his tech as well. Like, Eco was great.
Yeah, that was the main thing for me is I kept looking. I'm like, dude, I don't see any building that looks the size of a Hydrodon or a Queen's Nest. It's just the same thing we saw in Apocalypse. And clearly Ample studied that game because he had the perfect reaction with the Valkyries. And you even called it in the Apocalypse game that if it was Valkyries, it would have been really tough. So really well done from Ample there. And he played well all day long. Like his game versus Sharp was amazing too, even though he lost it.
You know what? Rip everyone's liquid bets.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like, I'm pretty sure no one expected. Like, you could tell me like, okay, Sharp, but Ample over Jaedong and Queen over Queen. Wow.
Like over Queen twice. Also, crazy. I feel like everybody's liquid bet is already ripped, even from like Group A and Group B. Because we've had so many upsets this entire tournament. And now, we only have one remaining group. We have, one or actually 2 legends in there. Bisu and Stork. But we've got an amateur there, Ivory. And with no intel on this guy, we could have continued upset. Can you imagine if an amateur makes it into the round of 16 taking down Bisu or Stork or Rush? That would be crazy.
Oh man, I hope for the good of the Zerg race. Actually, that doesn't happen, because then people are going to complain so much that Protoss, is need a patch or something. But well, like, man, congratulations to Ample. Honestly, this guy he's not a pro like the others. This guy. This is a big accomplishment in my book, so congratulations to him. Like, honestly, I feel like he progressed so much season after season, and I mean, he's getting there. I feel like he's getting there. He probably his TVP is already up to the challenge, like stats wise, but who knows? Maybe he can keep improving. I feel like in TBC he's doing great.
Yeah, for sure. He's crushing it in the Terran versus Zerg matchup. Also, Terran versus Terran. Just needs to get that Terran versus Protoss together, and, he could be somebody that goes deep in the tournament. I think every Terran in general struggles versus Protoss. So maybe he can avoid a Protoss death group, hopefully. But yeah, I'm very excited for Ample, because he's one of the first, I think, pros that I saw stream on Twitch, if I remember correctly, and also he interacted with foreigners a decent amount. I remember Gypsy in his chat quite often, so I'm very, very happy to see him do well.
Yeah, I feel like Ample wasn't at some point like doing tutorials and stuff in English for foreigners. Wasn't Ample?
I don't remember if he did tutorials, but I do remember him doing some matches versus some foreigners. Like, for example, I remember him playing versus Jaeyoon when Jaeyoon was still Zerg, and I mean, he just crushed everybody. But it's still fun to play versus pros,
Yeah, and there is that experience of playing a pro gamer and seeing actually how far you are from them.
Yeah.
And how do you get like all playing every single situation.
Yeah.
That, like, you don't almost like believe it. It's like, wow.
Yep.
I'm actually that far.
It's amusing back in the WCG days when I would read threads about how so-and-so has a chance versus like Midas, for example, or whoever the Korean representative was. And I'm like, dude, are you crazy? Like, sure, I'm a believer that there could be a miracle, but like that's just not gonna happen, Like, these people are so So good. But luckily, we're in a day and age where players now stream. Foreigners do get access to the streams. They can get replays too. That the gap has somewhat
Careful, careful,
closed.
careful, careful,
The,
Nyoken,
the gap
careful.
has somewhat closed a little bit, but the gap is still massive. There's still no world where I would say a foreigner has even like a 20% chance versus anybody.
You know, in defense to the foreigners, there are many Koreans as well that play hardcore that are very far from these players.
Yeah.
There are many semi-pros that are very far from these players. They've been playing for years, for years. They were like B teamers and stuff like that. And so that's why it's impressive. Someone like Ample that is in that case of B tier, that semi-pro, that is actually like rocking with these big guys, you know?
Well, I think Ample was on KT if I remember correctly. I can't
Um,
remember exactly, but I'm
but it was like probably larva style, like cleaning ditches or stuff like that.
okay. Maybe. Well, regardless, he played absolutely bonkers today, taking down Queen in the first game, Sharp taking down Jaedong, Sharp beating Ample in what I would say is the game of the day. I liked that match quite a bit. Then we had Queen versus Jaedong, another epic one, and then of course this final match, also epic. Nice bust from Ample, and that means that he will make it out in second, and that gives us, what is it now? 6 Zergs, 5 Terran, and 2 Protoss still? So we're getting there. We're balancing it out a little bit.
Wait. How five Terrans? Are you sure?
There it is. 7 Zergs, actually. 5 Terrans and 2 Protoss.
Okay. Maybe we're going to get the Stork and Viso advancing, and that is going to be four Protoss.
That's what we need, man. We need the Protoss. And then I'm okay with that balance. That's not bad. But we desperately need somebody from Group D representing the Protoss race because Best in Many, even though they're amazing, it would be really tough for them to take down, 7 Zergs or 5 Terran players on their own.
Yeah, I feel like probably JYJ. He's probably going to pick some Zers for his group. Like that's his best matchup, right? There is no way he's built a group with Protoss players.
Yeah, that is true. Especially after JYJ crushed it last season versus the Zergs, I think for sure he'll pick
I can
those.
already I can see it, Nyoken.
Yeah.
JYJ is picking calm and killer, 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll try and organize that type of group. We're getting a look at our match tomorrow, which is, as I stated earlier, it's going to be Rush, Ivory, Bisu, and Stork. Bisu and Stork, that's going to be an epic one, a PvP. And both of these players have ridiculous shuttle control. So I'm expecting that to be a highlight of the day. Also, it's a Legends match. Everybody appreciates the old school Legends, so that will also be fun. And then Ivory versus Rush. Hope Ivory has a special build plan because Rush, he's up there with Light and Royal in terms of the best Terrans right now. So that's going to be an extremely hard matchup for Ivory.
Yeah, Rush is insane, to be honest.
Yeah, he's
So
crazy.
he is going to need some strength to beat that turn.
Yeah, what I like the most about Rush is even though he's going to play bio, that's just what he does. His multitask is insane. Like he's legitimately attacking 5 places at the same time. I always enjoy his games versus Somas because they're always close. I always like his games versus Queen because the multitask is so crazy and always close. So hopefully Ivory can keep up because it's going to definitely be a tough opponent.
You know what, Nyoken, this ASL it's been so shocking since day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's been super shocking. So I'm not really surprised of anything. Like if you if I tune in tomorrow to the ASL and I see like Ivory actually like advancing, I will be like, okay, actually I can see that happening.
Yeah, last season we had a ton of upsets too. So I'm kind of used to the upsets at this point, but yeah, there have definitely been a ton of top tier players that have already been eliminated. That is for sure.
Yeah, I really hope Bisu makes it. To be honest, Bisu is like the only Protoss player I like. The only Protoss player I respect. So I really hope he makes it far. I feel like with a Bisu, with an ASL of full of Zerg players, I'm pretty sure that's good for him. That is his best matchup.
Oh yeah, I would definitely favor Bisu in PVZ. He's well known for that, of course. But these Zerg players, man, they're so good these days. Especially Hero, which I've just heard about his Zerg versus Protoss. I mean, you were telling me how strong his Zerg versus Protoss was. Oh, are we done? Oh, no, we're not done. So we're talking about he's showing off the mouse pad that I talked about earlier. But we haven't talked about any of the round of 16 players, this tournament, because they haven't had to play in the round of 24. Are there any players that you're looking forward to? Of course, you've got Hero there. Is there anybody else that you're looking at,
I'm really
especially?
curious how good is JYJ going to
Uh-huh.
do this season, because usually the champion the next season doesn't really like perform so well. Actually, since he won the ASL, I actually never hear or saw JYJ too much. So I don't know what he's up to. Maybe he's like training in secret and going hard and going to do back to back. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have a mini moment in the selections. The season that Mini won, he ended up picking Light into his group, and I think Light had like a 60 or 70% win rate versus Mini. So I had no idea why he picked Light. So I'm hoping JYJ just doesn't have a mini moment where he picks somebody that's his nemesis and actually puts himself in a death group. I guess the logic behind Mini picking Light is if he kills Light, he doesn't have to worry about him anymore. Like he just eliminates a huge threat. But yeah, Mini just got bonked that season.
Yeah, that is a confidence that you want to show to your opponent. You know what? I don't care. I'm picking you, like,
Yeah,
and then it obviously doesn't pay off. But if it actually pay off, Nyoken, like you are ready for the season.
that is true. You would definitely be feeling very good moving into the round of 8 and beyond because probably nobody can stop you. And it seems like now we are ready to end the cast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow. Eonzerg will not be here, so we've got a special caster coming in. It's going to be Raz again, and that's going to be great because we've got 2 Protoss players, so I'm sure he'll give some good insights. So hope to see you there, and looking forward to the games.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you.